Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at a homebrew artifact. I made this guy up a long time ago, back in 81. This is Drake the Shape Changer. This weapon appears as a +1 dagger until conditions are met, as set by the DM, and I leave that up to the DM. You can introduce this however you want, to reveal its true nature. Once the abilities of the weapon are known, it may be used in any of the following forms: +1 dagger, +2 short sword, +3 long sword, +4 bastard sword, +5 two-handed sword. Drake the Shape Changer can speak. It has a 15 intelligence and an ego of 7. It is neutral alignment. It has never tried to take over the mind of a creature wielding it, preferring to talk the user into frequently changing the blade into its various forms. Drake has told conflicting stories of its creation and previous owners. The last place it was found was in the treasure hoard of the red dragon, Firehide. That's a game I did many years ago. The weapon takes 2 segments to change form. The user can change the weapon from one form to any other during combat, in place of an action. So in other words, instead of an attack, you can just change the weapon. So if you're attacking with a +1 dagger, and it's a creature that can only be hit by a +3 weapon, you can go ahead and turn it into the +3 longsword. And by the way, this weapon, if it's in +1 form and it's a creature that does need to be hit by +2 or greater weapon, it won't work. You have to change it to the form that's appropriate for what you need to hit it. Takes 2 segments to change form. The user can change the weapon from one form to any other form during combat in place of one action. The weapon does not have to go from +1 dagger to +2 short sword. It can go from +1 dagger to +4 bastard sword, any combination you want. The bearer of the weapon is considered proficient with the weapon in any form. This proficiency does not apply when using another weapon unless the bearer is already proficient with that weapon. So if you're not proficient with a two-handed sword and you use Drake the Shape Changer in the two-handed sword form, you are proficient with it as long as it's just Drake the Shape Changer. If you pick up a different two-handed sword, you are no longer proficient. It's just part of the power of the magic. And that also applies if you are in a class that can't use a two-handed sword, like, say, Thief, then you can go ahead and use a two-handed sword, and it's legal because it's Drake the Shape Changer. The history of this is kind of interesting. I gave this weapon out back in mid-1981, in the summer of 81, and I gave it to a player who left our game. He moved away about a year later. And I liked the character that he had wielding it, but he didn't. He got it on a character, but he wanted it on a different character. We never allowed trading magic items amongst your own characters. That was always a metagame kind of thing that we'd never allowed. I still frown on it. If a player came to me and really made a case for it, I might allow it, but generally I won't. In this case, I didn't. So this player would start every game playing the character that he wanted to have Drake the Shape Changer, and then say, "Oh, by the way, who has Drake the Shape Changer?" And we'd all laugh and we'd all say, "You know darn well who has Drake the Shape Changer." And he'd chuckle and we would go ahead and play. But it was something he tried a number of times, hoping I would somehow forget which of his characters had it. So when he left our game in 82, this weapon went unused. I didn't give it out again until about 2015. I had it in the Dragon's Hoard, and my son Adam actually won it as a roll for the magic items, but it turned out he has a sword that he really liked, and he didn't particularly need something like this. He appreciated the power that it had, but he just liked the family sword that he was wielding as part of his backstory. So my wife traded him for an item, and then she, playing Bobby the Elven Thief, ended up with Drake the Shape Changer, which is really cool because my wife is the only other player, myself and my wife, the only ones left from the group that the original Drake the Shape Changer was in. In fact, 1 or 2 of those folks are no longer with us, and others have long since stopped playing. So it's kind of neat that it's gone full circle and it's gone back to somebody who was actually present during the original Drake the Shape Changer run. My wife really likes this weapon and appreciates it. I've always considered it an artifact. You're going to notice that there's no negative powers on it. I do that on purpose. I don't always agree with negative powers on artifacts. Sometimes I think they're appropriate, sometimes I don't. I don't put them in just to kind of stick it to the player. And I bend the book a little bit with that too. I might put 1 or 2 minor harmful effects on it, but I'm not going to destroy the character with the artifact. In this case, I didn't give any negative. and I just gave it out. I do consider this an artifact because it is actually quite powerful with the +1 to +5 ability plus the other wielding things. It's been a really fun weapon to have around. The other thing I'm doing with this guy is this PDF will be posted so you can download a copy of it if you want to use it. It's something new I'm going to try with the channel. I've teased this a few times in the last couple of weeks. I'm going to try to post up anything that I've made and post it up on a PDF that you can download for free. No copyright infringement or anything. This is all just for free. You can look for it on my Patreon page. You don't have to pay anything. You don't even have to be a free member or anything like that to get it. You can just download it. I'm only putting it on Patreon page because I can't put a PDF directly in Facebook or anything like that. I can't do it through YouTube either. But I can give it as a free PDF through Patreon, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So take a look at it. Follow the link to the Patreon. Take a look at it. Go ahead and download it for free. This is not a hard sell to get you to join the Patreon. It's just where I can put it, where I know you can download the PDF. But that's all I've got to say today on Drake the Shape Changer. Who has Drake the Shape Changer? Bobby the Elven Thief at my table. And let me know what you think. If this is a great artifact or if you think it's something that you wouldn't use, you just don't think it's appropriate, let me know. I'd be interested in feedback on this guy. But that's all I've got today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.